Right.
Hello, welcome, Erica. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me today. I appreciate that. I wanted to talk to you about your experience through working with me, particularly around the beginning of the Be More You program.
Yeah.
Um, could you just tell anybody who's watching this a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Okay, so my name's Erica Petrie, and I'm a mother of two, and my youngest daughter has Down syndrome. A lot of what I do revolves around her now as well, because I've also set up an awareness raising campaign to give children who are differently able, like her, a voice. And to make sure that they're more included in society and so forth. In the past, I've worked in corporate and I've worked in education. I've had experience with a lot of quite difficult people, and I think I've been possibly misunderstood a lot, or maybe, also I sometimes took the wrong approach. Yeah.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you. So, what was it you were wanting to work on when you came to see me, particularly in the Be More You program? What was it you wanted to
Yeah, I
really?
think that I was someone who was taking things very personally, and I realized very quickly that I'm an empath and I tend to take on everybody else's problems and
Mm,
issues, and I often put those before my own, to the detriment of myself. So I really wanted to learn to be able to gain my resources externally, in terms of sort of unconditional love, rather than depleting my own resources and then finding that I was having a nervous breakdown, which has happened to me quite a few times in the past,
mm,
and relying too much on my parents who live abroad. And obviously, with COVID and everything else going on, I wasn't able to count on them. So it was important that I built up myself and ways of coping mechanisms and ways of dealing with my issues, to ensure that I wasn't sort of counting on them, and I wasn't sort of finding myself yet again in a situation where I couldn't deal with things, and then I was of no help to anybody, and
mm.
especially my family who really need me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that because I do appreciate sometimes the stuff we work on is quite private and personal. So giving that broad spectrum, that's brilliant. So what sort of results have you seen from working with me?
Well, first of all, I wanted to say how it was that I sort of met you, so to speak,
Yes.
because this sort of told me that I really felt that you could help me. Which was, I saw a little video on LinkedIn that you'd done with a friend of mine, Lex, and it was talking about mindfulness and how you were going to offer these Clear the Fear webinars for people in my situation, people who felt they had a lot to deal with during lockdown and whatever, but and beyond, so that they had the opportunity to change the way they dealt with things. I felt that you were very sort of warm and compassionate and understanding, and you
Thank
took the
you.
time to really listen, and you were really giving back with these Clear the Fear webinars, which really sort of impressed me, that you were willing to sort of go the extra mile and offer these services for free as well,
Mm.
to support others. And I realized that you really had a heart for others, so that made me keen to try and see what it was to work with you, and see how we could move forward. And I had a
Thank you.
before we did the Be More You program, I had a conversation with you, the 30-minute conversation that you offer free of charge, to try and ascertain how we could work together. And I was happy with the outcome of that. Yeah, so
Thank you. Yes, and I know we did some work before Be More You as well, didn't we? Which
yeah.
was great, and I loved the fact that you were so open to what we were doing, and that was that you were ready and open. I think was the key thing. So that was brilliant.
I think that there needs to be a willingness to change, and a willingness to do something different, because
Mm,
if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. So
nicely said. Beautiful.
yeah, so I mean, I think as a result of the Be More You program, as well as the fact that it's been great to connect with other people in similar situations to my own. So that's
Mm,
been great, because we've built our own support network. But also I've found it really sort of encouraging and really sort of helpful in sort of taking a step-by-step approach towards changing things for the better. and we've always had a hypnotation, which is a mixture of hypnosis and meditation. I love this word that you've coined. At the end, which is really sort of relaxing, and it really helps you work on your subconscious, and you're working at a subconscious level and you don't actually realize that it's happening, but it's very, very powerful. And so through a mixture of the Be More You program and the sort of one-to-one sessions that we had, I really feel that I'm not as empathetic now as I was. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I've learned to deal with things better, and make sure that I'm making the time for me, and I'm not depleting my resources. I can still be kind and helpful towards others, but I'm not running myself down in the process, and learning to be a little bit more assertive as well, and being able to say no if it's something that I can't do, or buying some time, and saying, I'll get back to you at a later date if it's something that I can't do in the immediate, but not feeling that I have to say yes and I have to sort of put myself out for others all the time,
Yeah.
to my own detriment.
Thank you. And certainly from my perspective, that's really good news, because that's what I want, is people to make the changes. Sometimes there's effort, but on the whole, you're just making them at such a deep level. They're just happening, and you only notice it afterwards, don't you?
No, I
So
think it's really good, the approach that you have, because you're able to work at that subconscious level, and all we need to do is be open to it. But even if we fall asleep during the hypnotation, whatever, that work is still happening, and we see the effects then over time. So
yeah.
it is really powerful, and I've really found it useful. And also, it's been really good to think of the bubble that you spoke about, and keeping ourselves in that bubble, and being able to keep the sort of love and positivity within that, and letting other negative things bounce off that, so that they don't impact us quite so much.
Perfect. So what would you say to someone who was undecided about working with me?
Well, give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, you offer a 30-minute free call anyway, so
Mm,
there's nothing to stop anybody from trying that out, and seeing how they connect with you, and seeing what you have to offer. And yeah, why not? And also, you gain a network of other people in similar situations that you can support each other through the program. So it's well worth doing.
excellent. And would you work with me again?
Definitely. Well, I still am. So yeah.
Yes, we are. Yes, I just keep developing and growing.
Kind of,
So
one program has led to another with Kim. So I'm constantly on her radar, but it's great. We're connected for life, and I feel like we've got a good, strong friendship. And also, it's good because Kim has written an awesome book. I've completely gone blank on the title right now, but it's
midlife.
very. Sorry.
Midlife is not a crisis, is the
Midlife is
book.
not a
Yeah.
crisis, that's it. And it's very topical and very appropriate for now and what we're living now. So I would
Mm,
recommend it to anybody to get
mm.
hold of the book and read it, alongside the work you're doing with Kim, because it will complement everything nicely.
Oh, thank you so much, Erica, for taking the time out just to do this testimonial for me. I really
No,
appreciate it.
it's my pleasure, because ultimately you've given your time, and so we're happy to give back to you as well. And I'm sure
Thank
that
you.
I'm not speaking just for myself.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
on that note, then I will stop the recording. Thank you.